Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talking Terror. I'm your host, Daniel Aston. Now, everyone who knows me knows that the 1994 movie The Crow, starring Brandon Lee, is my all-time favorite movie. I love that movie. So that leads in today's episode. I'm going to be doing another movie review. Yep, you guessed it. The brand new remake of The Crow, directed by Rupert Sanders, stars Bill Skarsgård, FKA Twigs, and Danny Hudson. All right. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I did go into the theaters with pretty low expectations and probably some pretty harsh criticisms, given the fact that the original Crow is my favorite movie. Um, it did exceed my expectations a little bit. I didn't think it was a bad movie. It was good for what it was. If you go in viewing it as its own standalone and try to not take into account the other Crow movies, yeah, yeah, it's all right. You might like it. Um, but I will tell you, this review is going to have some spoilers in it. So if you want to go into the movie and watch it spoiler free, now's your chance to back out. And I'm not going to deter you from going to see it. That's not my goal here. My goal is just to give my honest opinion. I still say, hey, go check it out, get your own opinion of it, and then come back and see me and see if they match. So if you want to go in spoiler free, now's your time to back out. All right. Now that all the people who don't want the spoilers are gone, time to get into my review. I'll start with my pros. I love the cinematography. It was great. It still stuck with the dark essence to it. I really liked that. It was very beautifully shot. Um, I thought the look that they gave him was really awesome. I thought he looked really cool. Yeah, I had my reservations about the little tattoo where the nipples, the eyeball, and the tattoo, but it worked. It was a really good look for him. I thought the fight scenes were really awesome when they were there, even though the blood was CGI and the CGI was still not bad. There's some pretty good CGI in it, especially during his healing factor. A lot different than in the 90s when he's looking through his hand and stuff. But technology has come a long way, and whenever his healing factor kicked in, it was it was pretty cool. I did enjoy that. Now for the cons. The cons are it was kind of slow paced. When it reached the fight scenes, it picked up, and you're like, all right, here we go, and then it dropped right back out. It was very slow paced. There was a point where I'm sitting here like, all right, you gotta stay awake because I kind of got bored in a couple places. Um, the backstory, I didn't like the change in the backstory. They took away the rock star Eric Draven, and they kind of replaced him with just basically some punk kid. There's a horse at the beginning. That was kind of weird. I didn't understand what the horse was about. They never really explained the horse except for maybe like that was his first interaction with loss. Other than that, it was just a weird interaction. Another con that I have was the villain. I definitely prefer the old villain. They put in more of a supernatural aspect to the new villain, and it was kind of, I don't know. I didn't really care for that part. I liked him going up against the gang. They took away Devil's Night. I didn't really care for that. You know, um, that really wasn't right up my alley. Um, there's one part, big spoiler coming up. The way that he was able to be defeated was his love for Shelley. If he was to doubt, and they made him doubt his love for Shelley, which I didn't like that. It's supposed to be like unconditional love, period, regardless of what. I liked it better in the original one where his love for Shelley is the why he was doing it, but not the how he was doing it. The crow brought him back, and so the way to defeat him was to get a hold of the crow and defeat the crow. But that was kind of a little twist in the story. I really didn't care for. That's my biggest con of the whole thing. Another con was they made him kind of frumpy and kind of clumsy in the fight scenes. Even though the fight scenes were still were really good, he was still kind of a little frumpy. I can see, all right, in the first one or two, you're trying to get your legs back underneath you. You just came back from the dead. I get it. But by the end of it, the big epic fight scene, you shouldn't have a frumpy crow. It just shouldn't be that way, in my opinion. I wasn't a big fan of that part. I did forget a pro. They did have some dark comedy moments. There was one where, a woman fell out of a building. That was kind of an unexpected one. He threw some heads into a crowd. That was kind of funny. So there's a little dark comedy to it that kind of made me chuckle a couple times. But my final con that I can give you is the ending. The ending was kind of a little threw me off a little bit. Wasn't a huge fan of how it ended. So, but that's my review. Like I said, if you made it this far and haven't seen it, don't let this deter you from going to see it. Go check it out for yourself. I wouldn't say, hey, don't go see this movie. It's trash, because it's not trash. It's just not what I want out of a Crow movie. You may like it. If you've seen it before, tell me what you think in the comments. And until the next video, stay spooky.